Hi friends, today I'm going to show you how to get this super easy and glowy drugstore makeup look. I haven't done a drugstore tutorial in a minute, so I thought this look would be great for the days when you don't want to go all out, but you still kind of want to look cute, if you know what I mean. I hardly wear fake lashes if I'm just going out on a normal, errand running day, so this is my take on just an easy everyday summer makeup look. This look should take around 20 to 25 minutes to complete, so it's great for glam in a hurry. And again, these are all drugstore products, so they're all affordable and accessible. So if you want to know how to get this super glowy drugstore makeup look, make sure to keep watching, and let's get started with the tutorial. So my main goal was to look super glowy when I did this look, so I am using the NYX Born to Glow primer for a soft glowing base. I absolutely love this one. Then I'm going to do a little bit of bronzing and contouring with foundation using the Maybelline Matte and Poreless Foundation. I love creating dimension from the get-go with foundation. In order to do this, you're going to need two different foundations, one that matches your skin tone and one that is about 2 to 3 shades darker than your skin tone, depending on how bronze you want to be. I'm starting by buffing in the shade that matched my skin tone first. Then after that first shade is all blended, I'm going to pick up a contour brush and start to work the darker shade under my cheekbones and around my foreheads where I really want to bronze my skin. I start by just patting a little bit of foundation where I want to place it, and then I start to blend up and disperse the color evenly. I'm only applying where I would place a warm bronzer just to add warmth and dimension to my face, but this is not going to contour or sculpt our face because it isn't the right tone. Before the foundation fully sets, we're going to go back to whatever we're using for the first foundation application and start to blend out the lines so it's a nice seamless transition from the skin tone shade to the darker shade. Keep in mind it's much easier to blend this out with the original foundation brush that has leftover product than just coming in with a new brush to blend, if that makes sense. Now that my skin is nice and warmed up, I want to brighten up the center of my face a little bit more. I'm using the LA Girl Pro Conceal, and I'm just drawing it onto the points of my face so that I want to bring forward and make pop a little bit more. For me, that includes under my eyes and around my nose and the top of the nose, the cupid's bow, the chin, and center of the forehead. Those are just the points that I like to accentuate a little bit more. I'm just blending everything out with a Real Techniques foundation brush. I really like this one. It's the perfect shape for blending out concealer in my opinion. I couldn't find either of my drugstore powders. I'm so sorry, so I ended up using this MAC Mineralized Skin Finish to set everything very lightly. I wish I would have had mine, but they're both somewhere in the mess that is my makeup area. I want to set the areas where I apply the darker foundation with the darker powder or bronzer, so I'm using the bronzer from the e.l.f. Beautifully Bare palette. It's also on the cooler side and is matte, so it will help with sculpting, but it's also setting that darker foundation. Then I'm using the holy grail of all drugstore blushes, Milani Luminoso, and I'm just patting that onto the apples of my cheeks for a nice peachy glow. And now is where the real glow starts. The first highlighter that I'm using is the peachy shade from the e.l.f. Highlight Palette, and I'm dusting this all over, like literally all over. In order to do that, make sure to use a highlighter that is not super high shimmer. Make sure to use a highlight that has a more subtle glow so that it doesn't look insane. Now for the most important part of this tutorial, the beaming, blinding super glow. I'm using the L'Oreal Paris Inviolable Pigment in Ice Latte. This pigment is like a super metallic shimmery champagne, but it doesn't have any glitter, so it's still a wearable highlight as well as a shadow. And I'm going to be concentrating this in the C shape around my eye and temple area to really make sure that it's the brightest part of my face. And then I'm going to lightly pull the leftover down the cheek. Damn, this highlight is poppin'. So I'm just taking whatever's left over to run this across my bridge of my nose and the cupid's bow. So because this was just a really basic and diffused bronze eye, I felt comfortable doing my whole face first. So I am just priming my eye with my favorite eye primer. This is I Love Stage by Essence. And then I'm going to set it with that same peachy glow shade from the e.l.f. Highlight Palette. Then with the Milani Earthy Elements palette, I am going to mix the two warm tones together to blend into the crease. Even though we're going to end up covering a lot of this crease, we are still going to want that warmth to peek up through the next shade that we use. So I'm just building this up until it's nice and warm and I get the color that I want. Next, I'm picking up this brown bronze shade and I am just going to dust this all over my lid for a nice wash of color. And then just to make it a little bit more opaque, I'm picking up the same shade with my finger and just pressing this all over my lid and blending it upwards into that crease. Normally you wouldn't put shimmer into a crease, but because you've laid down that warm matte shade, it layers over really nicely. And like I said, that warm shade kind of peeks through and makes it look dimensional, but still easy and effortless for every day. Now I'm going back to Ice Latte and I'm going to pick it up with the same blending brush that we've been using, and I'm just going to fluff it into the center of the lid and the inner corner and brow bone. This is just going to highlight these points, bring those areas forward, and make it look nice and bright. So then I'm going to take a little bit more iced latte with my finger, and I'm just going to pop that onto the center of my lid, concentrating the color there. This is just going to make the eye pop a little bit more and look a little bit more metallic. And then just finishing with a little baby blend to make sure everything is nice and smooth. Because my brows are newly tinted in this tutorial, I am just running some tinted Milani brow gel through them just to give them a little bit of hold and a little bit of tint, but not too much. Then I'm using this NYX mousse liner just to smudge it into my upper lash line from inner corner to outer corner. I'm just barely smudging as I apply this, and then I'm going to do the same on the outer corner of just the bottom lash line. I've been loving this formula. It's really smooth and it's really black and it feels very high end. Then I'm going to pick up the same bronze shade that we used on our lid and start to smoke out the liner. And I'm just wiggling the brush back and forth until the liner is nice and diffused and it looks kind of smoky. But because we are using that bronzy shade, it makes it look like a nice bronze liner instead of a harsh black smoky eye. For mascara, I am trying the L'Oreal Voluminous Superstar Mascara for the first time. This is the one that has the primer on the one side and the mascara on the other. I'm a big fan of the Voluminous family. Carbon Black is like my ride or die mascara, but this one was just okay. I'll review it maybe later, but it was just eh. So I wanted to keep my lips nude, but I wanted to be definitely on the pinker side, so I lined my lips with the NYX liner in nude pink, and then I filled it in with a NYX matte lip cream. I'm actually not sure of the shade, but I'll list it below. And then this was just feeling a little bit too hot pink for me, so I came in with a NYX Intense Butter Gloss that is a more nude shade, and it really did the trick. It made it a little bit more nude, but still held that nice pink color. Then I realized I wanted just a little bit more definition in my eyes, so I decided to tightline with the Maybelline Skinny Eyeliner in black. I am loving this liner. It's super easy to tightline because it's so tiny. It's amazing. I am just going to add one more layer of mascara, and we are done. I really ended up loving this look. Like, I just feel like it's me. Sometimes when I do glam, I feel like I look like a different person. Not necessarily in a bad way, because that's the point, but you know, I don't always want to be on the glamazon side of the spectrum, and I don't necessarily want to be wearing no makeup, and this is just a great look that's in the middle for me, where I still feel pretty and I still feel fresh and glowy. So I hope that this helped you. I hope you liked it. If you did, I would love for you to let me know down below in the comments. Also, make sure to check the down bar for all my social information, and make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you really liked it. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope to talk to you guys soon, and bye!